There is a lot of talk about changing our landscaping with more Colorado native plants because of climate change. But what does that actually look like and how much water does it actually save? 9 reporter Anusha Roy is in the backyard this morning with a couple of ideas of inspiration. Anusha, good morning.
Good morning, Jordan. Yeah, we really wanted to chat with the people who are going through this transformation right now. And a huge space that is doing that is actually the Denver Zoo. They're hoping that if you go by, maybe you get a little inspiration about something that you might want to see in your own yard as well. So the zoo really changed their approach to this, maybe you would say about a couple of years ago, when they realized that their landscaping needed to be a lot more climate conscious. They needed plants that needed less water, can be fed out to animals, but also still looks beautiful. So they started planting things like Salvia alzuria. It's a prairie type plant that is thriving in both the sun and the shade, and then the pollinators love them as well. You'll also walk by landscaping with these beautiful native flowers. Another option they said is sulfur buckwheat. Again, it has this beautiful yellow flowers, but then it also chokes out weeds and is drought tolerant.
We've seen the climate of Denver warm. Watching the plants, you can see what's not doing well, and usually it's the things that are not native. So we love hydrangeas, we do, but in that name, hydra, water. We're not where we want to be. But that slowly over time we're getting there. Every new exhibit or new garden we establish, we try to put in about 80% natives. And that is based on research for benefiting pollinators and wildlife, is that the natives need to be about 80 to 90%.
So when it comes to lawns, they actually ended up using a clover and yarrow mix, and said native turf like this in general, it saves approximately 4 times as much water. There is going to be this cost upfront, right, to have this landscaping, and there's a lot of maintenance in the first year, but then the idea is every year after that it is less work, and then you start to save money because you're using less water. This is the exact idea that climate experts are really hoping that more individual people will ultimately do, and then realize that you don't have to give up something beautiful to also be climate conscious. In Denver, Anusha Roy, 9 News.
And selfishly, Anusha, it sounds like it's a lot less maintenance after you get past that initial work, which, as the person who mows the lawn in our family, I appreciate that.
Jordan, it was like the first thing I asked them. I was like, so after the first year, does it get easier? They go, yes, it does, because these are also plants that are going to thrive a lot better in our climate.
And we like keeping money in our wallets. All right, Anusha, thank you.